The morning I walked out to my alfalfa field and saw a 70-foot cell tower looming above the skyline like a metallic intruder. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was confused, slightly amused, and primarily worried about my cows who'd assembled around it in a reverent circle like pilgrims at a shrine, standing there in pajama pants. Coffee steaming in my hand, I squinted at the blinking red light atop the structure. The actual gut punch I hadn't signed on thing. No lease, not even a courtesy note. It had grown up overnight as if some telecom giant had declared my land was up for grabs. As I drank my coffee and plodded towards the workers cabling into my ground, one waved with a smile. "You're from the HOA sweet spot you've chosen." I blinked slowly, a quiet, "Oh, hell no," echoing in my head. Rowie. 2 days, life was predictable. I reside on the fringe of a suburban maze where the maple grow. HOA rules with its beige paint codes and lawn height obsession. My 10-acre farm left to me by Grandpa Tom straddles the borderland. I maintain more for him than any farming aspiration. I'd grown up here assisting him, bale hay, repair fences, and tinker with his old tractor when he passed. I abandoned my city job, digging up real estate contracts to maintain this property, trading appropriate for boots. I grow alfalfa, keep it neat, and enjoy the quiet, away from the showways trivial wars over leaf blowers and mailbox designs that shattered when Dorothy Hargrove became HOA president. Picture a woman who'd laugh at Martha Stewart's relaxed vibe and nod encouragingly at a tyrant's rulebook. Dorothy once rang on my door clipboard in hand, griping my cedar fence contradicted their aesthetic vision. "Never mind my lands beyond their reach." I'd smiled, nodded, and colored it neon orange for a week just to see her squirm. We'd had history, but a cell tower that was a leap. Even I hadn't guessed her for waiting past the friendly crew. I accosted the supervisor, a thin man in a hard hat and a nervous twitch. He handed me a creased community access agreement. My address, but the landowner whose name was given as HOA president, D. Harrove. My name without the signature appeared like a drunk toddler's doodle. "Where this from?" I asked, voice flat. "Your HOA," he said, fidgeting, said this field's greenbelt. "It's a private farm," I said, slow and deliberate, like talking rain to a fish. "We're just installing. Man, permits are filed legit. Who names on them?" He muttered, eyes darting rage bubbled under my calm exterior. "I don't yell or throw punches. I fill out paperwork, obey rules. Prior to farming, I drafted leases for corporate clients, analyzing contracts like puzzles. This was fraud, brazen, and sloppy stop work. Now I told, turning away, they hesitated. Or my tractor. Blocks your truck, your move. They stopped. 2 hours later, I was in my messy home office, a room still reeking of Grandpa Tom's pipe tobacco, pulling out the deed he'd filed decades ago. Crystal clear, boundaries, parcel, county, seal number, field, was my HOA jurisdiction, and 5 feet beyond my mailbox. What was this madness? I drove to the Maple Grove clubhouse house where Dorothy and Blazer and excess blush spoke to small group about how the tower would usher in 5G, harmony, and raise property values. I waited then approached fake lease in one hand, tower picture in the other. "What's this?" She grinned, all teeth. "Isn't it?" "Marvelous. It's for the people on my property." "Oh, don't be ridiculous." She laughed, slapping my arm like I was a child. "It's common ground. You weren't occupying it. The lease is only 10 years. You lease property you don't own." She blinks, then smirks. "Technically, it's green belt and utilized. You can't stockpile nature." "Dear, I hope you enjoy lawsuits. I told you. You'll top one." That evening, I emailed Jake Miller, a real estate attorney from City Life, with the evidence, phony agreement, pictures, deed. He answered in minutes. "They're done. Play stupid. Let them go down, then hit them hard." I did. While Dorothy boasted in newsletters about raising connectivity levels, I dug in. The telecom had signed a 10-year lease with the HOA, paying 2 years of front $1 million annually. None to me yet established ownership, and that deal was junk. They'd beg me. Instead, next morning, I paced my field with a measuring wheel, coffee in hand, a grin splitting my face. I didn't just want the tower down. I wanted Dorothy to choke on every smug comment she'd ever made. Grandpa Tom's binder marked, just in case they attempt something. Foolish contained a treasure trove, surveys, titles, easements, and a GPS notarized deed from 27 years ago at the county assessor's Clara. The clerk, who knew me as the guy who built a White House-shaped chicken coop Extracted GIS data. She whistled that tower right on your parcel. I received a time-stamped, color-coded map exhibit. Then at the telecom office I encountered Ryan Tate Leah's coordinator, a jittery guy with a Bluetooth earpiece. I set out the binder your toe on my property. He squinted, touched his tablet, and paled. We signed with the HOA. They don't own it. Your lease is null trespassing. I could sue. His voice broke. I don't want that. I said errors occur. Renegotiate with me. My rates are higher by afternoon. Ryan called his lawyers, requested a meeting. Meanwhile, Dorothy hosted a 5G celebration Asian mixer. Wi-Fi streamer signal-shaped cupcakes, a melting eye sculpture meant to be a bar's icon. I walked in for kicks, she flaunted. Tower revenue will finance pool renovations, new tennis courts. I walked up. Funny thing about that revenue, her smile faltered. Oh, Evan, hello Greatfield now. Smiling legal wins, she hissed. Is this necessary? Yep, I spoke with the telecom. They're angry about leasing phony land. Her mask slipped. I didn't fool anyone. You signed a lease with my property. Fraud residents gawked a misunderstanding. She stammered an assumption, I said. Costing your fund plenty. I left her stewing. The telecom's new lease tripled the HOA rate, plus back pay, a bonus, and maintenance terms. Jake laughed. Sign it. Buy a yacht. I did. Cash flowed in. I filed a county correction, locking my land from HOA claims, and posted a sign, private property tower, operated by actual owner. I leaked the terms to annoyed residents. Questions flew. Where's the original money? Why? No vote. The HOA cracked at an emergency town hall. Dorothy flailed. The tower was for us, but land issues shifted it. Mitch Carter, a blunt EXC contractor, barked. So we get nothing. It reflects ownership. She dodged. Did you claim land? You don't own silence. Her Babel Maps usage satellite light flopped. Chaos erupted. I watched from outside, sipping from my telecom mug. Ryan called the original lease's notary was unlicensed for 12 years. Fraud affirmed. They submitted a county complaint that spread like gossip. Residents called for audits. Whispers of Dorothy's consultant fee sparked fury. I went all petty, gated my field-installed cameras, pointed toward the HOA, and a plaque belonging to E. Sullivan Enterprises illuminated by solar uplights. Drone video of a frantic board meeting, papers scattered, hit a resident chat entitled HOA and Crisis. A towering flop, then at a somber town hall. No cookies. Dorothy resigned, voice quaking. I'm resigning to maintain integrity. Silence. She sneaked out, car peeling away. She sued me. Easement breach, distress, through a shoddy template. Jake met with trespassing, fraud, drone clips. The judge threw it out in 30 minutes, warning her off. Her house sold. She disappeared, but Dorothy didn't dissolve quietly. Rumors circulated she'd sue from afar. A thick letter came asserting historical usage rights to my field as Greenbelt. Jake guffawed so hard he choked. She's self-representing through a discount site. Insert defendant, still on it. We countered trespassing, fraud, Lee's misuse, adding need and drone proof. In court, she talked nonsense about community vibes and signalberries. The judge, suppressing a grin, threw at advising counsel. She stood alone outside, defeated the HOA, imploded Roy Tanner, the VP, a man who once scolded a bird for chirping, overtook struggling meetings, fell apart into shouting roles. Expired residents revolted, diagonal lawns, wine spinners I partnered with, frustrated residents organizing a front. We pushed into bylaws, uncovered infractions, fun abuse, shady approvals, creating a 38-page tome of nope. It spread. Residents called for openness, an investigation by the county, ignited by the telecom grievance. Nailed the bogus noter, criminal PED. Roy resigned. The HOA was put on a vote of no confidence. Flyers I sneakily sponsored. Read, create the hood, sane again. It passed. Fee, reduced rules. Redone. I held a tower. Triumph, barbecue ribs. Corn kids darting under tower lights. Mitch grinned. Charge for this signal. Beats our Wi-Fi. The telecom pitched a 6G tower. I launched Boundary Guard Solutions, helping HOA victims. My story. Farmer flips HOA scam went viral on Reddit. Dorothy attempted Pinecrest Estates, but their HOA fined her for a mailbox shade. My field prospered tower blinking a testament to patience paperwork and petty justice. Peace settled hard-earned and lasting.